Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back. We've got a lovely, one of our favourites from way back. Chicken in white wine sauce with mushrooms, mash, our favourite mash, and coleslaw. You haven't seen our coleslaw before. It's very quick, very easily, very basic coleslaw. It's not running, dripping in mayonnaise like all that rubbish they serve in fast food restaurants. Likewise, the mash has creaminess, and it has potato, and it has goodness, and it tastes absolutely lovely. So this is one of Ting's great meals. We love it, and I hope you're going to enjoy it as well.
สวัสดีค่ะเพื่อนๆวันนี้เราจะมาทำไก่ซอสไวน์ขาวใส่เห็ดชาปิยองค่ะแล้วเราก็จะเสิร์ฟกับโคสโลว์กับมันบดนะคะส่วนผสมเดี๋ยวเจอร์มี่จะบอกนะคะว่ามีอะไรมั่งแต่สูตรนี้อร่อยนะคะ
We're doing chicken in white wine sauce with mushrooms tonight and serving it with mashed potatoes, which we've done in an earlier video, and tonight we're going to accompany the meal with coleslaw, which is a cabbage salad. It's a basic coleslaw. It's very tasty though. If you enjoy what you see, please subscribe and like the video so that we can keep going, because Ting puts a lot of effort into all this filming. Anyway, for tonight, for the chicken in white wine, we're going for 2 people with 6 chicken breasts. Comes in about 300 grams. We'll be using cabbage and carrot, shredded or grated, whichever is easiest for you, in the coleslaw. That we won't use all of that. For the mashed potato, of course, there are 3 potatoes. And then for the sauce and maybe for the coleslaw or whatever, there's 10 grams of butter, 2 of those funny little oranges that are called somjit in Thai. I don't know what they're called in English. They're very sour because we haven't got any lemon, but we've got these in the garden, so we're having those. It's the same sort of flavour, but orangey, of course. Would you be surprised? A couple of cloves of garlic, 1 average-sized shallot, roughly a tablespoon of chopped parsley, 60 grams of champignon mushrooms sliced. Doesn't matter how big they are or small they are. 30 grams of mayonnaise, a shot glass and a half, about 75 millilitres of white wine, 150 millilitres of half cream. As mentioned before, we don't want it to be really thick or too fatty, so we use half cream, which boils off a bit and works very well. And of course the inevitable seasoning, Himalayan pink salt and locally freshly ground Thai black pepper. So there you go. It's a really nice collection of flavours, and the sauce is lovely with the mashed potato. You can mash the whole lot up into a slurp yumminess. Okay, we'll get going. The first thing Ting's going to start doing today is to peel and then chop up and boil the potatoes. I'll just add at this moment that if you want a quicker and possibly a bit lighter sauce for the mushrooms, rather than using cream, you can either use not fully mixed but part mixed Campbell's mushroom soup, which is nice and creamy and possibly has less in it, or you can use packeted mushroom soup. That works very well as well, as long as you don't fully dilute it again to give it a bit more thickness. But don't forget to pop the white wine in and the other ingredients to make it up into a nice tasty sauce. Okay, the potatoes are chopped and we're just going to boil some water to boil them in. Ting's cut the cabbage in half, taken the stalk out of the middle, and is now going to shred it unbelievably finely. So you get the leaves in long spindles, which you can cut across if you think you might have difficulty eating it. And then, of course, we'll do the carrot. We'll grate it on that hand grater. There's the shredded cabbage, or cabbage, as my mama called it. And now just grating some carrot to mix in with it. So the shredding's done. Now the 2 little mini oranges are being de-pipped and the juice squeezed in. Very difficult to film this, moves very, very fast indeed. And then we will add salt and pepper to it.
Yeah.
So the salt and pepper in there now, and in goes the mayonnaise, and then we stir it around and put it to one side. You can pop it in the fridge if you're going to have it with cold meat or anything, or just leave it waiting for the meal. Coleslaw is particularly good as well with lightly fried chicken in sandwiches for breakfast. Chicken and coleslaw sandwiches, especially with a slice of cheese, are yummy. There's a tip for you. And there's the coleslaw, ready to one side. It doesn't need to be heavily mayonnaised like in some of these fast food joints where it's more like soup. It only needs a light amount of mayonnaise to hold it together and spread the flavour. So now we'll go on to the chicken, and the chicken breasts, first of all, are going to be flattened out. Nice way of venting your pent-up frustration. And of course they get seasoned as well with a bit of black pepper and a little bit of pink salt. And you get them all ready like that. Okay, the potatoes are ready. We're just about to start frying the chicken breasts, but as the potatoes have reached their softness, we're just mashing them much like our last video. So the mash is ready. If you want to see how we make our mash, just go to the video of chicken surprise. Chicken surprise is yummy. The mash is absolutely delicious tonight. It's always good when Tings makes it. It's really, really good. So now we'll start frying the chicken breasts. Tiny bit of olive oil in the frying pan. And if there's any oil at the end, once you've taken the fillets out, you drain the oil out so that you've got, we make the sauce in there so it's got the flavouring of all the bits of chicken that have cooked and the little bits of residue. So we pop them in and fry them and turn them over. Don't burn them, just get them nice and golden. There are the nicely removed chicken fillets. Okay, so now we start on the sauce. First thing to do is pop the garlic and the shallots. As you can see, the frying pan, no oil left in there. We'll be popping the 10 grams of butter in there. But to begin with, just pop the garlic and the shallots into the frying pan. And then add the butter. And you have to move relatively fast because, of course, butter burns at a much lower temperature than olive oil. You just fry them gently. And then when they're beginning to show that they've cooked a bit, about now probably, you pop the mushrooms in next. because you want the mushrooms to cook a little bit in the what's left of the butter that hasn't been absorbed, because the flavour of onions, butter and mushrooms, as I say every time, is absolutely wonderful. So stir those around and give them a bit of a fry. Okay, that's all gone relatively clear, and before it all dries out and disappears, add the half cream. I really must stop saying sounds like an
almost there.
Whoops, there we go again. Okay, and the wine goes in next. And mixes in beautifully. The wine lends such an amazing flavour, but you do want to boil it for a short while. Not boil it, but you know, cook it to reduce it. I think that's the official phrase, reduce it. So add the parsley as well. Parsley lends a heavenly flavour. Okay, that's the sauce, beautifully reduced. Things just adding a bit of seasoning, a bit of salt and pepper to give it that final tweak of loveliness. And then it will be dished up with everything else on a plate. Here it comes. And they spoon the sauce beautifully over the chicken breasts, comfortably close to the mashed potato and the charismatic coleslaw. And that gives you what you see before you. Chicken in white wine and mushroom sauce with mash and coleslaw. It's absolutely gorgeous. Really. Enjoy.